Marco Barahona, Psych Class 1487, video presentation on memory. In our day-to-day experience, memory is very much related to learning. 9 times out of 10, if you didn't learn it, you won't remember it. So that's why learning is associated with memory. But in psychology, learning and memory are studied separately because learning has also been studied as conditioning, and conditioning is more or less when you train an organism to adapt to the environment rather than train the organism itself to be more intelligent and to not focus on the organism itself. There's a three-step process that goes into memory, which involves encoding, and that's the code input into your memory. And then you have your storage, which is to maintain the memory throughout your lifetime and to make it stay throughout life. And then you have your retrieval, which is whenever someone brings up a picture or you hear a sound that makes you remember something from the past or something like that. An analogy is saving documents for tax return. These three processes operate to different extents on three different types of memory. So sensory memory is temporary storage of sensory information, something that you see for a second and then it'll come back. You'll see it for a second, but you won't see the entire thing clearly. And the duration is usually less than 1 second. And then if you see it, and then if you hear something, you'll hear it for a short second, and then that's that. And then this sensory information usually passes through the attentional gate, and then it's transferred to short-term memory, which is brief storage of information currently being used. So something that you just saw or heard is something that you'll have in your short-term memory, and it's usually less than 20 seconds that'll be there, that you like saw it or remembered it. And then that'll be processed into elaborative rehearsal information subjected to elaborative rehearsal or deep processing. And deep processing is whenever that short-term memory sticks for a longer period of time and it goes into your long-term memory bank. And that is, your long-term memory bank usually keeps stuff for a permanent storage. It usually keeps it for a long time and keeps it throughout your lifetime. And for your long-term memory, the capacity is usually unlimited and you will have it throughout your life. And then, yeah, an example of sensory information is, again, like you'll see a picture and then you'll see the full image, but you won't see every nitpick detail. So therefore, like, it's only partial. So yeah. And then short-term memory is also called the working memory because it's the memory that is consciously working all the time as we go throughout our day-to-day lives. A cool fact about the working memory is that we can keep about 7 items in it at any given time. So you can have 7 thoughts processing at once, and then you'll have all of them going. And then the long-term memory comes in at least 2 types with subtypes. So you have long-term memory declarative, and those 2 subtypes are episodic and semantic. And then you have procedural, which are like your skills and your habits. And your episodic are like the day you did something or something like that. And then your semantic are the ones that are like your facts that you've learned in like school. So like it would be, what's the president's name, or who was the 4th man to invent rock and roll, or stuff like that. And then your skills would be under the procedural tab, which are your day-to-day skills at what you're good at, what you do the most. And then your habits are, again, the things that you do constantly: brush your teeth, wake up, and go to bed at a certain time. And then that's basically all I generally have to say on memory. I hope my presentation is very well around and put, and thank you.